Hello everyone, welcome to translationCore, an open source desktop application developed by unfoldingWord for checking Bible translations. This application enables you to check your translations using tools such as translation notes, translation words, and word alignment. These tools will help you see the accuracy of the translation in your language based on the original Hebrew or Greek text. This application is made available across multiple platforms. Windows, Mac OS, and Linux users can download this application from translationCore website. To download this application, open any browser and go to www.translationcore.com. This will take you to the translationCore website. Now, click on the download button. This will take you to the download section, where you can download the application based on the operating system you are using. To open translationCore, double-click on the translationCore icon on the desktop. This will initiate translationCore loading process. Once the loading process is complete, you will see a welcome page. translationCore version is mentioned over here. Now, click on Get Started button. This will take you to the home window of translationCore application. To get started with translationCore, you need to first log in, select a project, then select the tool that you want to work on, and finally click on Launch to get started with the checking process. Let us click Login to continue. Here you have two options: log in with Do43 account or continue as a guest user. To continue as guest, click Continue as Guest button. This will take you to the new guest page. Enter a username of your choice. Check the box next to Terms and Conditions. Now select the user interface language to change the language of the user interface. This will affect the language found in the menus, dialogues, and project setup. If you want to change the language of the checks and translation helps within the tool, you will have to select a different gateway language when selecting the tool. By default, the selected language is English. If you want to go back to login with Do43 page, you can click on the Go Back button. If you want to return to the home page, click on the Go to Home button. Now, let us click on Continue to proceed. This will pop up an alert suggesting that your username is publicly viewable and if you are comfortable with using this username. If you are not comfortable using the username, you can cancel and enter a new username. Now, click Continue. This will take you to the project page. You can log out by clicking Log Out, or continue with the project by clicking Continue to Project button. Once you click Continue to Project button, translationCore will load all the projects in your project page. If you do not see any projects, you will have to import a project into translationCore. You will have to repeat these steps every time you run translationCore or log out as a guest user. To log in via Do43, let us click on the Login with Do43 button. Enter your username and password and click Login button. This will pop an alert window suggesting that you are about to transmit data over the internet. If you do not want this alert to show again, click on the box Do Not Show this warning again and then click on the Access Internet button. This will take you to the project page. You can log out by clicking Log Out or continue with the project by clicking on the Continue to the Project button. If you want to return to the home page, click on the Go to Home button. Once you click on Continue to Project button, translationCore will load the projects in your project page. If you do not see any projects, you will have to import a project in translationCore. To import a project, click on the menu icon. If you have a local project, you can import it by clicking here. To open an online project, click here. This will open an alert window asking for permission to transmit data over the internet. If you do not want to see this alert again, check the box next to "Do not show this warning again" and click on Access Internet button. This will open Import from Do43 window. If you have an URL, you can enter it here and click Import button. If you do not have an URL, then you can search for the resource by user and/or language code and/or by book. You can use any combinations to make a search. Now click on search and the application will search the repo based on the search commands you input. Now select the resource that you want to import. You can only select one resource at a time. Click the import button to import the project. Once the project gets loaded, the validation window opens where translationCore checks for the copyright. You can select the license by clicking on the checkbox next to the copyright options. To know more about each license, click on See More link. Now click Continue to proceed to the project information page. The copyright window only shows when you import a local project. Under Project Information, you will have to verify the required information such as language name, language code, language direction, left to right or right to left, translation identifier, which is a 3 or 4 letter identifier, for example KJV, ESV, NIV, etc., and the book name. The project nickname is optional. If you want to add contributors and/or checkers to your project, you may do so by clicking on the Add Contributor or Add Checker sign. Now click Continue to see if there are any merge conflicts. If there are any merge conflicts, translationCore will show it in this window. If there are merge conflicts, translationCore will give you an alert suggesting changes in your projects by displaying a broken chain next to the reference. If there are no merge conflicts, you will receive an alert suggesting the name of the local project. The standard naming convention is language code _ translation identifier _ book name. Now click OK to continue to load the project. Translation Notes. Translation Notes helps check a wide range of potential translation problems in the Bible. It checks the grammatical constructions and figures of speech that are difficult to translate. It also gives explanations and suggestions for the translation. This is the progress bar that suggests the level of completion. Next, we have the grammatical construction options with checkboxes against each translation helps topics. By default, all the boxes are checked. You can select 1, 2, or multiple notes to check your text. You can expand each note by clicking on the Expand button and selecting the subcategory helps. After selecting the help topics, select the gateway language that you want to view your resource in and click Launch button. This will open the Translation Notes window. Towards the top is the stepper. You can navigate between Home, User, Resource, and Tools options here. Towards the left is the navigation pane, where you have the grammatical construction and figures of speech headings. Here you have the menu option, where you can view the notes using the filter options. This is known as the scripture pane. You can see the target language, Greek or Hebrew resource, and English resource in this pane. You can also add a resource by clicking on the Add Resource icon. and selecting the resource in the available languages. Click here to expand the scripture pane to have a full view of the chapter. You can also edit the target language in this mode by clicking on the pencil icon. Then make the required changes and click Next. Now select the reason for the change and click Save. You can see the changes made to the text here. Now click Close to return to the previous window. The blue section over here is known as the information panel. This gives you a brief idea of the grammatical construct or figures of speech in the book. This also gives you a brief explanation on the highlighted grammatical construct or figures of speech that you will have to align in your target language, if any. Towards the right is the Translation Helps pane. Here you will have a detailed explanation of what a grammatical construct or a figure of speech is with examples and descriptions. This helps the translators to see if the grammatical construct or figures of speech found in the original language is accurately translated in the target language. This is the checking pane. Here you can select the grammatical construct or figures of speech to align it with the original language. To select a match in the target language, highlight the text by dragging your cursor. Now click Save. This will align the target language text to the original language. You can edit this verse by clicking on Edit Verse, make changes, select the reason to change, and then click Save. You can also put a comment in this section and click Save for others to view your comments or recommendations. To move to the next verse, click Save and Continue. If no selection is needed, check this box and save to move on to the next verse. Slide the toggle bar here to mark this verse as a bookmark and click Save and Continue. Once you move to the next verse, you will see a green check mark on the completed verse. You will also see a number on the check mark suggesting the filters that got activated during your editing. Translation Words. Translation Words is a tool developed to comprehensively check the meaning of the key terms in the Bible using a set of clear, concise definitions and including suggestions for translations. Like translation notes, here too you have a progress bar. You can make one or more selections by clicking on the checkboxes to view the key terms in the Translation Words tool. To proceed, let us select the language and click Launch button. This will load the Translation Words tool. Like Translation Notes tool, we have the stepper here on the top. You can navigate between Home, User, Resource, and Tools option. This is the navigation pane. You can view all the key terms in this pane. On the top of the navigation pane is the menu, where you can view key terms by using filter options. Here is your scripture pane, where you can view your target resource, original language resource, and English resource. You can also add available resources by clicking on Add a Resource icon. Click here to expand the scripture pane and have a full view. This blue section is known as Information Panel, where you see the key term on the left and its meaning on the right. This is the Translation Helps pane. you can view a detailed definition of a key term, its biblical references, and word data on this panel. To expand this panel, click here. This is the checking pane. Here, you can select a key term in your target language to map it with the original language key term. Click Save and continue to move to the next. If no selection is made, check this box and save to proceed to the next key term. If you need to make a selection again, click Select. Make a new selection and save. To edit a verse, click Edit Verse. Make the changes, select a reason and save. If you need to make a comment, click here and click Save. You can slide this toggle bar to bookmark this term. Click Save and continue to jump to the next key term. Word alignment. Word alignment tool aligns the translation with the original biblical languages in order to show how the translation communicates the meaning represented in the original language. This data can be useful in creating other resources such as concordances and interlinear Bibles in the target language. To launch this tool, select the gateway language and click Launch. This will load the word alignment tool. On the left is your navigation pane where you have the chapters and verse of a book. Adjacent to that is the word bank where you have the target language word list. On the top you will have the scripture pane where you view your resources in target language, original language, English or any other language you select. On the checking pane, you have the Greek or Hebrew words that needs to be mapped to the words in the word bank based on the closest match. Based on the previous aligned history, translationCore can pre-populate suggestions. If the word alignment tool pre-populates with suggestions, you can either accept or reject the suggestions by clicking on the Accept or Reject button. To refresh suggestions, click on the Refresh button. Once you are done with the word alignment, slide the Alignment Complete toggle bar to save your work. Thank you for watching this training video. Hope you enjoyed learning about translationCore. Have a good day.